Hello, world. Richard of Carver here on day 154 of sobriety after I spent 20 years of my life high. How's it going, everyone? Wow, I am one tired guy. I just fell asleep sitting up with my head back for about 5 or 10 minutes, just really out of nowhere. All day today, I worked on cleaning my flooded basement. That's what I did all day. I did make some fish as well. That was pretty great. Yo, Liam in the house. What up, Liam? Great to see you, man. I was just catching everyone up on the great escapades of my day, which really consisted of cleaning my basement all day. I had, a good cup of coffee in the morning. I made some rice, a salad. I had some salmon. Great food day, But in between all of that, all I did was clean the basement. Kate is in the house as well. Oh, that's awesome. It's so good to see you guys. I thought it might be too late that I wouldn't maybe be seeing you guys, so I'm really happy to see you guys here. I was just saying how I just fell asleep randomly for a few minutes in a nap mode once I stopped cleaning the basement. But so all day, squirt, squirt, squirt. That's all I did all day. And I'm glad I did. The basement is spick and span right now, feeling and looking good. My hot water heater got knocked out from the flood, and I have a fan on it right now, and I'm hoping that it will dry out and start it back up tomorrow. I'm going to mess with that because right now I'm out of hot water, so that's not fun. But I was also worried that the washer wasn't going to work. The washer started messing with me. I had a load of laundry that I put in there, and it just wouldn't spin, but it's back to working. So, oh yeah, blue hat time, Kate. Blue hat time. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. I think it's been weeks since I've wore the good old blue hat. Missed it. Liam says, our basement has flooded only 2 times. The one time our washer broke and flooded our basement. Oh, Liam, I'm sorry to hear it, man. My heart goes out to you because honestly, this whole basement flooding thing, gosh, it is time consuming. And, you want to do a good job cleaning it all back up, and it really takes a while. And what I keep on running into is sump pump issues. I haven't had my washer flood the basement like you have had, but my washer does get affected when it allowed to get too high. What happened, which has really messed me up, is that there's like a ring around the hot water heater that keeps the water out, but the water was so high it breached it and then went into the hot water heater. So, oh, look at my boy Jake in the chat too. Oh my gosh. Jakey goes, you're up 18 and happy birthday, or happy early birthday, buddy. Oh, Jake, you're the best. You guys are awesome. Love to see you guys here. You make them feel all good. My heart growing. This is awesome. It is the day before my birthday. I am looking forward to some music on my birthday, seeing family and friends, and just having some good vibes and good memories on the birthday. That's the way to go. Oh my gosh. Jake, that's so funny. I'm like, you're up 18. And Jake's like, Ricky, what is wrong with your brain, dude? It says late, L8. You're up late. Yeah, it's true. Last night I was up until 4. I think then I didn't really sleep that well. And so I'm a little bit more tired today, so I just fell asleep randomly sitting up. But, Liam, how'd that basement clean up for you go? How long did it take to clean your basement up? Kate Reddit is 18 too. Ha! See, great minds. Liam says, the second time our water pipe broke next to our circle rocks, and it went to my room and stopped and went down and flooded my room and flooded my basement. No, your room got flooded, man. No. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure either, Kate. I just figured that I missed something, which I guess I did in a way. I was like, you're up 18 points. What did I get? Was I $18? What was I up? But thanks for clarifying, Jakey. But yeah, Liam, when you have to clean up a flooded thing, do you guys like hose things back down? Do you have to have one of those types of vacuum things? It's like a shampooer and stuff. The one lucky thing, I guess, if it is lucky, I don't know, is that at least my basement's not finished. So when it floods, I just like re-squirt it back out, and then I like either hit it with bleach or a whole bunch of Lysol, which I started the Lysol process, but I gotta go to Lowe's tomorrow and get more Lysol and keep hammering that down, which I will. I want to get it good, and then before I know it, it's gonna be birthday time, and there's gonna be sushi involved. Oh, I can't wait. We may do sushi the next day. We'll see. Tony in the house. Hello, all. Mississippi Redneck in the house. What up, Tony? Great to see you here, man. Tony can relate to the flooded basement too. I know we were talking earlier sump pump issues before as well. Tony's in the sump pump gang. Our boy Liam here, Tony, he was telling me that his basement's flooded as well. His washer broke and flooded the basement. Jakey, I hope that all is well over there, knocking on some wood. But you've never had a basement flood, right, Jakey? Kate, what about you? You got any basement flooding issues going on? So while I wait and see with that, we got to hit a couple questions this evening with a little bit of the if. And for some reason, I keep on not saving my spot, but I know it's around page 24 now. Let's just jump to page 24 because it's got a funny one right off the bat. If we could bring back any past leader of our country, who would you want? Only one time, barely, because power went out. Yep. Kate says, I have no basement. Hee hee. My birthday is the 22nd, but I really don't have them anymore, says Tony. Yeah, right there. Once it hits a certain spot, I'm like, I just, I'm still counting, but I feel it. Jake had like half an inch in a 10-foot area. That's not too bad. Still got to clean it up, definitely, man. But at least it didn't like get up and into things. This hot water heater thing, man, I'm really hoping it's gonna be all right. Liam had to rent a mini excavator to dig the dirt. What? And the hole was big. I mean, we had to expose the pipe, and it was rusted to where it broke. So we had to use all of our towels to try and clean it up. Yep, I just shoved a whole bunch of towels around my hot water heater, put a fan on it, but luckily I didn't have to do an excavator thing this time. But Jake will remember that pipe for my sump pump in the house. It was like way out. So luckily my pop, I think he had someone storing an excavator on the farm at that time, but he came over and we had to dig up the entire field before. So I can relate to having to dig up a huge area. So now I guess it's not new anymore. It's like a 5 or 6 year old drain field, but I know the feeling. And Kate's hot water heater just started leaking. That's right, Kate. What's going on with your landlord? Is he back yet to take a look at that? I know that Kate's hot water heater started leaking and flooded a little bit as well. And her landlord tried to send her like paper towels to help, and it was 2 rolls. But then when she looked, it was really 2 things of toilet paper. It didn't even send her paper towels for the cleaning up. And Liam says it took forever. And hopefully the stream is back up and running. Refresh stream, it's fine now. Okay. I wonder what happened. Tony says, I believe it would be Lincoln. People have always liked him, I believe, on both sides. I think Lincoln would be a great choice. Yeah, yep. Jake says the leach field. Yeah, man, I know that you were out there with me at some point in time. I know we had a bunch of rocks out there and stuff. And Jake's helped with so many different renovations on my property, guys. Jake's my boy. I appreciate you, Jakey. You're the best, bro. And, yeah, Kate, so is your hot water heater working? It just happens to be leaking? Like, they didn't shut it off, right? And so Tony answered this question. I forgot to answer because my brain's all still just waking up from a little bit of a nap. Past leader of our country to bring back, wasn't Truman decent? Truman or maybe a Roosevelt? Is my voice still cutting out? Check 1 2, check 1 2. Liam's got a question for me to answer. Well, I hope that my voice is back. It says everything's rolling now. I'm gonna. It's kind of a would you rather. I like would you rathers. What you got, Liam? Jake says fine for me. Awesome. Thanks, Jakey. Maybe a refresh, Kate? It's kind of a would you rather. I like would you rather. Kate says it stopped leaking now, and I have a bunch of paper towels that I didn't have to pay for. Maybe I need a refresh. Yep, there's still a little refresh on there. Tony says voice is fine. It's like a delay. Huh. Gosh, I hope it works itself out, guys. It's looking like it's all rolling now, though. I do sometimes see when it, like, has some type of reconnecting on my screen, but it's not doing that right now. And I just listened to, I have like my phone rolling with it on here too, just in case. And sometimes I turn that up, and it seems like it's working on there. And then Liam says, Richard, have you ever had stitches? Oh, yeah, I've had stitches. Actually, you can see my stitches right here on my face where they used to be when I get a certain angle. You guys see this little area right there? From here all the way down, like and across here, so, and then up towards my ear. When I was 18 months old, I had a dog latch on to my face and do that whole shake thing, and it like ripped my face back, and it was pretty intense. It was a toddler, well, 18 months, you know, and I had to go through acid surgery for like almost like a whole year, where they like slowly ate away the healing flesh part to make it kind of go in, and there's not much of it left, but I still have that big scar. And then on my wrist, you can kind of see like right where my hand meets my wrist, I had I was helping my mom make meatloaf when I was a little kid, standing on a kitchen chair, and I fell off the chair and my hand came down and smashed into a plate, and it cut my wrist really bad. And I remember I had to be rushed to the hospital because I was losing a lot of blood. Yeah, those are the main ones. Working now. Blue, Richards has not had stitches. Oh, red. Red, definitely. My dog bit my lip and took a chunk out of it. Oh, Liam, no. Dogs are wild, and they bit your face too, huh, man? We both have an affinity and a relationship to Scarface. You know, I always liked that name. I had a cat that got beat up by a fox before, and I named him Scarface. But yeah, I just have like a... You can't really see it because my beard's covering it, but I got a scar on my chin too from that whole dog incident. But another time a dog, I've been bitten 3 times by a dog. One time on my face, hardcore. One time through the nail of my thumb when I went to go take a piece of chocolate that fell on the floor away from my friend's dog, and it was like a little dog that bit through. And another time, no lie, y'all, a German Shepherd bit my boy down below, right on the head of my boy. Right through the head, like pierced it. I was jogging, and I was going by my neighbor who had two of her German Shepherds out on the lake across the street from my house, and one just lunged for my crotch and latched on, bit right through the head, and that was a terrible experience. It was definitely painful, but luckily that for some reason didn't scar and it didn't need stitches, so hooray. First time when you were little, says Liam. Jake says, I should have gotten stitches a few times, but only once. Jake just puts super glue in it and keeps on rolling. Liam was 5, only had him once. Where'd you have him, Jakey? Right? Kate has one of them emojis like that. Yeah. Jake will tell you that happened. Jake knows all about it when that happened. And my neighbor friend, she was so kind. She felt really bad about it. She's a nurse, too. And you know what's wild is when the one dog bit me there, the other big German Shepherd that was with him attacked the other dog. It was wild. He was like, what the heck did you just do? Get off of him. And they just started tearing each other up. It was wild. So luckily, the other dog kind of like saved things from getting too wild. And Jake says it was his left leg. And by the way, this story is 100% true. It is, bro. Thanks, man. Yep. It happened. It was a roughin'. But that's even though there wasn't stitches on that story, that was just related to the dog bite stuff. Jake says his wiener is even bigger now, though, miraculously. You'd think it would turtle up after an experience like that, though, Jake. Yeah. Thanks, bro. You know. Tony says a friend of ours hit a jackpot at the casino last Saturday. 2 spins of a $5 bet, $2.5 million. Oh my gosh. Tony, congrats to the friend of yours. And could you imagine, you guys? You got to play to win. I don't play enough of that, I guess. But gosh, that would be incredible. Jake, actually, I've said many times, is Jake in chat right now, he is the best gambler that I know. He's won the most money of anyone that I know, most consistent, and he's very talented at a lot of different games. Liam says, let's see, I was 5 and I went over to my dad's side of the room and grabbed the knife and tried to cut the orange, and I didn't notice and thought I did a magic trick and looked at my thumb and I cut it all the way to the bone. Oh, man. Jakey going to bedtime. Jake says, bedtime, peace, bro. Super peace. Thank you for the early birthday wishes, my brother. Love you, man. You're the best. Sweet dreams. We'll talk tomorrow. And we'll catch up, man. Today, Jake helped out a dear friend of ours, a woman who I worked with for almost 20 years at the music shop, who he was going to take lessons with, and she got into a big wreck today, and I drove her home. So Jake did himself a good deed today for sure. Tony says, I lost 800 Saturday, played Crying by Roy Orbison all the way home. Oh, Jakey, thanks, bro. Jake says, like the video, please. You're the man, bro. Thank you, man. Crying, crying, crying and crying, crying over you. I love that Roy Orbison song. Poor Liam, though, cutting his finger all the way to the bone, man. I kind of can relate to that. I one time was taking a buck knife and chopping a baseball card for some reason, and it was at a birthday party of mine. I was like 7 or 8, and I missed the card and went right through my thumb and the nail. But I was too scared to tell my parents about it because I wasn't supposed to be doing that with a buck knife. And so I just hid the injury for years, until it healed up. But I still have like a scar on the tip of my thumb from that. What do you play mostly when you go, Tony? I did roulette for a while, but then I got into blackjack. All right. I think I chose a Roosevelt or Truman, probably, for somebody coming back. Let's do another one. Let's see. If you could own any building in existence, which would you pick? You play a little everything, Tony? Versailles would be cool to own. I would probably want to own something that's like, a historical building of some sort, but that I could still somehow live in, some type of palace. Oh my gosh, Liam. What? That's wild, bro. You went to the hospital and had to hold your thumb up or it would fall off, which would scare the blank out of you. Anyways, it was bleeding pretty bad. Got in my automobile, then got drove to the hospital and got stitches, and you don't know how many. The end. Liam, that's rough, man. Just holding your thumb up like a thumbs up the whole time, but it was anything but a thumbs up. But your thumb's good now, right? How that was when you were 5, like that, or did that happen way after you're 5? When you were 5. And Tony says he would own Bass Pro Shop. That's a good answer. That's a cool one. Yeah, owning like a variety store like a Walmart would be cool, but I have to keep it stocked and stuff. Yeah, some type of historical building, but also has tours in it that could get a type of money or something. I don't know. The White House or the Pentagon would be cool. I'd be down for one of those. Yeah, because I'd probably want to still live in when you were younger, Liam. I'd still want to live in the U.S., I'd say. So probably the White House. If you could choose exactly what you will eat and drink for your last meal before death, what would the menu consist of? Geez, this book is getting harder. It starts to get insane. What would I choose? Sushi or something, some type of fish. I would probably have raspberries and mangoes, watermelon, lots of different fruits, and maybe just for the heck of it, a slice of pizza or two. Like, I'd have a good amount on the menu. I'd want some, probably some good filtered water, something like that. Kate says scrapple, baby. Liam still has a scar from when you were bit by your dog on your lip, Liam. Tony says carrot cake and milk. Oh, Tony, oh, yeah. Like, I just recently, oh my gosh, that reminds me, seriously, just recently had the best carrot cake of my whole life. It was a month or two ago. And I even brought some back for Kate, and I ate it all instead because I'm bad. Sorry, Kate. But it was incredible. It had so many big pieces in there, like walnuts and raisins and slices of carrot. It was just like, very whole. I think it came from Whole Foods or Wegmans or something like that, and had that cream cheese frosting. Oh my gosh. Kate says, no, definitely Mikimoto's sushi. Yeah. Oh, I am with you. I would say that, and then a whole bunch of different awesome fruits. I'm sorry, Kate. She goes, ha ha ha. I remember that. I'm still salty about it. Do you remember why I had that? Why did I have that? Oh, it was Pat's birthday cake. That's what it was. And my buddy Pat went down to his house, and it was his birthday cake. Liam says, hey, Richard, here's a would you rather. All right, here we go. We got red. Would you rather have 9 lives or waiting for our Would You Rather on there. And then, Kate, I'll make it up to you. I'll make sure we have some good carrot cake for sure. I might have to re-ask where they got that one because we should try that one. Again, it was either from Wegmans, but I feel like it was Whole Foods. All right, so would you rather have 9 lives, or would you rather have the power to be invincible? Would being invincible, would that then make it, would you live a normal amount of time if you're invincible, or by being invincible are you also like, will you not be able to die if you're invincible? Like, do you live forever type of thing, or a regular lifetime? Because I want to live so long. I really, really want to live and live and live. I love life so much. I would probably choose the 9 lives thing if the invincible means that it's a normal amount of time for a life. 9 lives sounds great. Would I live them, like baby to older for the 9 lives, or just saying that I could die 9 different times on a normal amount of life? I'm glad you understand, Kate. I will make it up. Carrot cake is in our future. What would you guys choose? 9 lives or being invincible? So yeah, my answer would be red if it's 9 lives, one after another. Or if invincible means that I keep living for a very, very long time. You basically can't die if you're invincible. So like, we're talking even against old age, then invincible. I'd want to go so long. I know that I would have a terrible time missing family and friends as I, lived an invincible life and, just kept on living and living. I would definitely miss my loved ones if they couldn't be invincible with me. But I probably would still choose that. That's a hard one, Liam. That was a good one. Kate says invincible 100%. Yup. We are on the level. And let's do one more question, guys. We're going to close it out with this question. Let's find one. All right, here's a good one. I like this question. If you could have composed any single piece of music that already exists, which would you choose? Whew. That is a great question. That is such a good question. Would we want one that everyone knows? Tony says, here's something I think a lot of people don't think about. There's 24 hours in a day. The average person works 8 hours, sleeps 8 hours, and has 8 hours for themselves. So value the 6 you have. Life's short. I agree. Life is so very short. So very short, Tony. That's one of the reasons I love it so much, in a way of that, like, I'm like, all right, it is so beautiful, and we really only have that YOLO, you only live once mentality. So, live like there's no tomorrow type of thing, 8, yeah, 8. I thought maybe that meant 8 on there. So value the 8 you have. Life is short. Yep. So what do you guys think? What is the song, the piece of music that exists now that you guys would choose if you could? My mind goes to Bohemian Rhapsody for some reason. That would be a kind of a cool one, but I might want one that stadiums sing. I always thought it was neat that I was alive to see Seven Nation Army be a single and then somehow start being sang at stadiums. I always thought that was really neat. Everybody sings that. So something like We Will Rock You or We Are the Champions is cool. The Happy Birthday song is cool because we all know that. Kate says too many songs. Oof. That's a hard one. Tony says, I've been rich all of my life knowing God, but that's just me. That's beautiful, Tony. And honestly, that's how I feel when it comes to being rich. Just knowing that I know my family and friends. I feel like it's, knowing that, and if God is whatever that concept is, just life itself, the life force that we all have, the fact that we have consciousness and can experience all of this, I feel like is a very rich experience. And Richard, you forgot the second round. Let's see. So we got the 9 Lives Are Invincible, chose Invincible. And then Liam asks, would you rather be rich or be famous? Rich, I would say. Because I just want to have an easy life and live or an easier life, and be able to afford things with my family and friends and do them, The famous part, if famous brings riches, I guess that's okay, but I think there's probably also some drawbacks to being famous, But yeah, rich would be the one I would choose, I think, because I would just want to have I'd want to gift money to people and like my family and friends too, and I would choose that. Kate says Sweet Caroline, haha. Oh, is that for real, Kate? You want to do the Sweet Caroline one? Yep. Tony says, whether you live in a mansion or a shack, I treat people the same. Same here. I try to treat everyone with understanding and kindness and humbleness, and that we're all in this together type of thing, I definitely try and just be kind to everyone. Liam says 79% people choose to be rich. Which would you choose, Liam? And I don't know if you answered your question either. Which would you choose about the power to be invincible or 9 lives, Liam? But yeah, Tony, treating people with kindness and respect is the best. I love to do it. It's awesome. The hard part is that when people are then mean to me after I've only been nice to them, there's that hard part in there where I have to still remember, what is it, don't become the monsters that you battle type of thing. That's a hard part, Yeah, yep. Kate says you were talking about stadiums, and that's definitely a big one people's always saying, But other than that, I still haven't decided. Yeah, Sweet Caroline is a fun one. I still think it would probably be, even though I love Joanna Newsom so much and I love all of her songs, I don't know if me writing any of her songs would be a fulfilling thing, because she'd have to perform them. I can't perform them. But Bohemian Rhapsody, that would probably be my answer. Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. Liam says Shaq. You would choose to be Shaq? Tony says, I'm old school, and back in the day, because I was there and lived it, people cared about each other more than today. I noticed that too, Tony. So that's your experience. You can definitely vouch for that, Tony. I think that is the case, but I don't have that full frame of reference. But it seems that there was more care. Almost like now, if you care and you show kindness and caring, it's like a weakness kind of thing, where I'm really grateful for my parents and my mom, actually. She taught me a lot about the power of caring, and that caring is an intensely powerful tool to your heart, being heartfelt, following your heart, honoring everyone else's heart, I think is important. Liam asks, would you rather be Shaq's height 7'1" or be 6'9"? Well, that number's fantastic, right? I'd probably do the 6'9", though. I think once you're in the 6 feet range, you're all good. 7'1" might be too tall, but maybe not tall enough if you were trying to play basketball. Liam, aren't you in the 6s? I think you asked me 6 what, and I guessed 6'1" for you, but are you 6'3" or 6'4"? How much is your height, Liam? Tony says, we didn't pull knives and guns, We put up our dukes and fought it out. Usually after the fight, we were friends. Yeah, you have some mutual respect for each other then. And I do absolutely think that people with weapons is not a good thing. You definitely, people are out to hurt more now, I think, too. And I think that's the weapons part. Yeah, it really pains me to see that people are so willy-nilly about that and willing to take a life. I think that life is the most precious thing. So the extreme part of, using a firearm or something like that, it's just so hard. Liam says, yeah, I'm 6'5". Wow, Liam, that's awesome. That's wild, man. I was calling way under. Tony says, so glad I came up in the time I did. I'm 5'11". I'm under all of that, guys. I'm a 5'9". Maybe 5'10", but somewhere around in there. Might be 5'10". But Tony, I've also thought about the time, like in that area. You came up, in like all through 60s, 70s, 80s type of time, right? That just seems like the real heyday. That just seems amazing. I am really thankful that I'm an 86 kid. So I'm really thankful that I had as much time as I did, experiencing life without the internet and the outside world. But, 9/11 and the internet really changed some stuff around here. It's really, our culture's gotten a little funky, man. And the corporations and police state stuff that we're in, shoo. Tony says, man, we had a blast for many, many years. I mean, it's still a treasured time even now. We all, when we look back at those times that you grew up in, I mean, they just look amazing. So many movies and music cites those times, Kate says, I'm like 5. Kate, you are the perfect height. Tony says, you could go to hamburger joints by yourself and leave with 5 friends. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Tony, it's definitely not like that now. Everyone is a bit more standoffish, I'd say now, or like looking for a fight sometimes. Maybe not everywhere. I'm sure there's good pockets all around, and I hope for that, and I hope that it's moving more towards that. But there's the want to have like the quick to anger and then the not finding a solution. I always just want to find a peaceful solution to anything, and I want to get there quick. And it seems that like maybe the like who is in the right is a little more important nowadays or something. Oh, thank you, Kate. Kate says, you too, babe. Oh, you're the best. Thank you, Kate. Liam says, double or nothing. Let's go double. You got another one, Liam? All right. All right, we got one last Would You Rather. Our boy Liam is going to close us out for the night, everybody. We're going to do a Liam Would You Rather. And then it is 1:41 in the morning where I am at. And I think it's a good time to wrap up after Liam's Would You Rather. Tony says, that's why I live in a rural area in the country, peace and quiet, and everybody here watches each other's backs. I love that about small communities, Tony. I'm blessed to live in a really unique area, I think, for having so many towns and kind of cities around where I'm at. I'm in the middle of it, and then kind of like in a weird little like armpit pocket of a small town. So I still have farms around me, a lot of waterways, and it definitely has that feeling of small town here. Although, to be honest with you, it's super cliquey and super, I don't know. There's nice vibes, but I think for the most part, it could use some improvement. And I'd love even more of a country feel. In fact, right behind me is the paintball park, which is getting out of hand and making it hard to even be in the house without hearing people screaming and paintball and war games, And that was not a thing because, we're neighbors, and I would hope they would look out for me as a neighbor, but they don't. But, man, Tony, I got to check out Mississippi. All right, Liam says, would you rather be a trillionaire or be a 470 quintillionaire? Which that's how much water is on Earth. Trillionaire or quintillionaire? I think quintillionaire is more than trillionaire, right? I'd have to say a 470 quintillionaire. But that seems like it would be that seems like too much money. Maybe I'd be very happy with a trillionaire. I feel like if I was a 470 quintillionaire, that wouldn't leave a lot for others. But are you saying 470 quintillion of how much water? Like you would have that much water versus a trillionaire? Because Tony says, I'll take the water. If you take all the water, it is. Okay, so if you have all the water, wow, that would make it so you would be able to get more money. Like that has been predicted to be what like another war would be fought over in the future is water. Yeah, I mean, how much money is money worth if you don't have water? I might change around, Tony. I think I would take the water if it was, in charge of all the water. That's pretty much, that would blow past trillion in just a couple years, if not a 1 year thing. Yep. All the water on Earth. But I would distribute it fairly. And I would try to make sure that we never have a war over something like that, and that there are no starving, although that's not food, but no one dying of thirst. Tony says, what did the bug say when he hit the windshield? What was that? What did the bug say when he hit the windshield? Nothing? What's the answer, Tony? Liam says he'd take the money. I mean, trillion's pretty great. What about you, Kate? Money or all the water on Earth? Tony says, so what did the bug say when he hit the windshield? If I had the guts, I would do it again. Liam says, you have completed the Would You Rather with the 100%. And look at that perfect timing, because my camera just decided to take a quick nap because it overheated. And it's turning back on. But it will turn back on. Oh. Yep. Look at that. Kate would take the money, bruh. Liam says, hey, why didn't you slow down? All right, guys. So on this one, because the camera is turning off on us, I think that's the good time to say it. Good night to you all. Peace and love. Please take care of yourselves. You're super worth it. And I'm so grateful for y'all to be here. This has been fun. Thank you guys so much for commenting. This has been awesome, you guys. Tony, Kate, Liam, Jake earlier, and you out there watching now. Peace and love, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great night's sleep, everybody. Sweet dreams. Tony says, later, folks. Stuff.